Hey, ADK community, it is Colin bringing you this week's Coach's Corner. This week we're going to talk about how much weight should my athlete use based on their age. Um, this was one of the questions that came in recently. It's a good question, and the answer you're probably not going to love because it depends. We have 10-year-olds who are a little bit more mature, and they are technically proficient. So that's really the big idea. Is your athlete mature enough? And are they technically proficient enough? Now, we don't do a ton of one rep maxing, and I've talked about why we don't do that in our training and using percentages because with our athletes, most of them are beginner lifters. So when it comes to maybe a 10-year-old, we've got 10-year-olds that can gobble squat 40, 50 pounds, but they started from 5 and they've been working with us since they were 8-year-olds, and they've been slowly increasing their load. We've got 11-year-olds who are deadlifting 135 pounds or more, depending on the group. And it's another thing, like they earn the right to do that. So there isn't a specific load per age grade. Now, there's things we do differently when we look at the age groups from 7 to 10, for example. It's more play-based stuff. We're not focusing on load because it's a lot of that is neurological. But some of them are mature and are looking to do that type of training, so we can safely load them. And you think about the forces they're withstanding in sports are much, much higher than doing a goblet squat with a 45-pound dumbbell in their hand. But once again, they got to be technically proficient. When we get into your middle school age kids, like some of these kids, it's still teaching the train. That's the thought process. But some of these kids, they show up twice a week. We see them all year, and they end up doing some really wild stuff. I think we have a couple 200-pound deadlifters in there, but they started with a 10 kilo kettlebell. So they've really worked on the technical proficiency. And our high schoolers, same idea. They've got to put the work in and earn the right to do heavier weights, and that's across all age groups. So kind of a roundabout answer to saying, like, it depends, and each athlete is different, and they should be treated differently, and the loads we use will be different. So hope that helps. If you need help getting your athlete's performance elevated, whether that's strength, speed, and agility, we're here. Reach out to me. Love to chat with you about your athlete and how our services might help. We'll see you around the turf.